friends, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. We made it we made it to 10,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. This is my video that I'm doing for you all as a thank you, as a celebration for hitting 10,000 subscribers here on YouTube. I couldn't have done it without you guys. And when I asked you all what kind of video you wanted here on YouTube and on Instagram, you guys said something involving the number 10, something involving like 10 favorites, 10 favorite products. You guys also wanted a Q&A. So this video is going to be kind of like a chatty get ready with me / Q&A, but I'm going to be using my 10 favorite absolute best holy grail products in my collection, putting them on my face, showing you guys how I like to apply them while answering all of your questions. So if you guys are excited and you want to stick around and see my 10 holy grail products, then keep watching. And if this is your first time here and you're like, who is this girl? Welcome. My name is Sophia and this is my channel that is focused primarily on luxury beauty. Every single week I upload content on new luxury beauty releases. I do favorites videos, I do shopping guides, I do gift guides around this holiday season. So if you love makeup, love talking about makeup, love listening about makeup, and most importantly, saving your money on things that are not worth it, then you're in the right place, my friend. Hit that subscribe button to join our fam, because as you will see during this video, we have a lot of fun on this channel. And you can also hit the notification bell to hear about every time I upload a new video. My get ready with me's typically tend to be a little bit on the longer side, so I'll just say it at the beginning here, friends. If you like this style of video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and also comment down below and let me know what other kinds of favorites videos you would like to see within the next couple of weeks. I definitely want to focus on a lot of favorites, especially as we kind of wrap up the year, and a lot of the releases, they're kind of slowing down. So send off in those comments down below. Let me know what other kinds of videos or favorites videos you would like to see in the next couple of weeks. Okay, party people, let's get into this get ready with me. I'm legit still in my pajamas. I've got my Joe Bro sweatshirt on. This is what I wear around the house, and I have a blankie on as well, because when I film my videos, I actually have to turn off the heat because the heater is right next to me and it's very loud. So I've got all of this nice comfy clothes on. We're gonna be chatting, getting ready together. This is gonna be like we're sitting next to each other as friends, chatting through all this stuff. And I also have a hot beverage. I am drinking the Nespresso Peppermint Pinwheel Coffee. And then I mixed in, I just got this Khalifa Farms almond milk creamer, but it's the peppermint mocha flavor. It's so good. All right, so first things first, I'm going to pin my hair back. Ooh, I'm like a little bit nervous. I don't even know why. So my top 10 favorites are going to start with foundation. And I definitely had to think about what foundation I wanted to include. All of these were hard to pick, by the way. I just kind of went with whatever my heart told me, whatever I was kind of feeling in the moment, whatever popped into my head first. And the foundation that I'm going to be using today is this one from Suku. This is the Suku Cream Foundation. I found out about this from Alicia Archer. Her channel is called Kinky Sweat. And she said that this was the best foundation that she ever used, and when she said that, I knew I needed to have it. So this comes in a jar format, and you can kind of see the texture here. It's very creamy. It's like that snack pack pudding, delicious, creamy goodness, very moisturizing. I think this is really good for people who have both dry skin and also mature skin. So I'm gonna be applying this with one of the Sonia G Fusion brushes. I usually use either one of these two, just because they like, you know, fit into the jar. I think I'm gonna use the smaller one actually, and I just dip it in. Okay, so I'm gonna get into the questions now. There are a lot of questions that were submitted that I've already answered in my previous Q&A videos, so I'm gonna link them down below. A lot of the questions that I typically get are like, why did you start your YouTube channel? What's your 9-to-5 job? All of that stuff I covered pretty in depth in my other Q&A videos. So if you guys like this kind of video, I'm gonna link those, but I'll quickly answer the 9-to-5 job thing here because I get so many questions about like careers and goals and that kind of stuff. My 9-to-5 job, I work in tech. I'm a product manager. I work for a tech company, not a really huge one. I basically work in like warehouse fulfillment. So nothing super sexy, guys. I work with, you know, engineers and designers to build software that solves problems and achieves business goals, and that's pretty much what I do. I work in tech. I'm just getting like a good little layer on here, and then I'll kind of blend it in afterwards. So I know it looks kind of crazy right now, but trust me, this is like the best foundation. It is so good. I know Suku can be a little bit hard to get, but you can get it like at Selfridges or at Harrods. I think you can get it at Cult Beauty as well. You have to buy it from a UK retailer, but this is super moisturizing, especially this time of year. I just feel like this never looks bad. Like, it just cannot look bad. The other question that I got is, what did I study at university and how did I pick my career? Okay, so at university, the degree that I received is in business management, and then you choose concentrations. And so my concentrations were information systems and marketing. So basically kind of like tech, marketing, combination of those things. So I feel like that translated really well to my career. I definitely did not have an easy time like figuring out what I wanted to do. But I think in college, what I've learned is that I definitely wanted to work in tech. I found like it was an interesting industry. And this was the time where no one was using Instagram and TikTok and social media wasn't as big. We were just getting like location-based apps, being able to know like where you were and having GPS on your phone. So it definitely was a different time. And I was very excited by that, especially, I went to a school where typically most of these students were going into finance and accounting. So choosing the tech route was definitely a little bit out of the ordinary. But I went to school here in Boston where I live, and there was a very close-knit, thriving tech community here in Boston. And so I kind of figured out what I wanted to do just by networking a lot, meeting people that did different jobs, speaking to entrepreneurs. And I worked for a startup for about 2.5 years out of college where I did a lot of different things. And I decided to go into product after that job because I was working so closely with our customer base, and I felt like I had all these ideas for how the product could be better, and I empathized so much for the customer. I thought, you know what, like I want to go into a role where I can be the one that sort of paves the road for how the product looks. So that's how I got into my career. Like, somebody asked, what did you want to be when you grew up, when you were younger? I don't know, guys. I was all over the place. I think by the time I got to high school, I knew I was going to go into business in some sense. Everyone in my immediate family works in healthcare, and then everyone in my extended family works in the restaurant industry. I'm Greek American. My family owns a restaurant. Like, pretty much most of my family members run the restaurant. And so I didn't really gravitate towards either of those. So I kind of picked a very generic major, business management, and I just kind of followed my heart from there. See how good this foundation looks? Like, it's not too dewy, it's not too matte, it's not too glowy. It's like the perfect Goldilocks foundation if you're someone that has normal to dry or mature skin. And it's a little bit annoying having to take it out of the jar, but once you get it on, it's just really smoothing, and it keeps my skin hydrated all day without getting like oily or gross or patchy or sinking into fine lines or anything like that. It's just really, really nice and perfecting. I grouped these questions together, so the next couple of questions are definitely going to be sort of in the realm of like being a YouTuber and growth and career and that kind of stuff. And then we have some other types of questions coming up later on. But my next holy grail is going to be in the concealer category. And you know what, guys? It's this new one from Charlotte Tilbury, the Beautiful Skin Concealer. This is just the one that I've been loving. It's definitely like top 3 concealers for me. I gotta do like a favorite foundations and favorite concealers video at some point soon, but this is the one I'm gonna be using today. So the next question is, how old are you? Would you quit your job and become a full-time YouTuber? So I'm 31. I'm gonna be 32 on March 11th. Save the date, my birthday, Pisces, hey. So that is my age. I'm very open about it. And would I quit my job to become a full-time YouTuber? I think if I was making enough money to be able to, have a good living, make a good living, and have the same lifestyle that I have today in this economy, I definitely would quit my job and become a full-time YouTuber, at least give it a shot, because I think I've said this in other videos. If this didn't work out, or if any job I do doesn't work out, I'll just find another job. Like, I'll figure it out. I'll find something else that I like. I feel like I could always just start another company if for some reason it didn't work out. I'm kind of at the point in my life where I'm not necessarily afraid to fail. I feel very confident in my skills. I have a bunch of different skills, and I know that if it didn't work out, I could probably just find something different to do. The fact of the matter is that you don't make that much money off of YouTube, especially in the beginning, that first 5K subscribers. It's a slog. You really have to be consistent. Even now, I don't make that much money off of YouTube in general. Definitely not enough to make a living. You really just don't make that much until you have a lot more subscribers. I was actually taking a look at some of my videos right before this because I thought it would be fun to share with you guys a couple of statistics to give you guys a bit of perspective around like how much money YouTubers make, especially in the beginning. So I was taking a look, and about 30% of my revenue comes from you guys watching my videos. So it's only 30% is from the Google AdSense. And that's like when you're watching my video, maybe like an ad plays, whenever that plays, I get a little bit of money, like a little bit of that ad share, that rev share rather. Some of it goes to Google and some of it goes to me. And that's about 30% of my revenue. The other 70% of my revenue is when you all shop through my links. So I'm gonna be linking everything, by the way. I'm gonna be linking everything in this video in the description box down below. And the reason that us as YouTubers say that is because a lot of times we do make more revenue. It depends on the YouTuber, but especially when you are starting out, you make most of your revenue off of your very loyal subscribers shopping through your links. But even then, you know, even thinking about any other kind of small business, 20% of your customers, of your consumers are going to be generating, oh, there's Minnie, are going to be generating 80% of your revenue. And I would say it's probably like maybe 10%, 5% of your subscribers are the ones that are actually shopping through your links and also watching every single video. 10,000 subscribers, well, I'm absolutely thrilled that I've reached this point, and I feel so grateful. In the grand scheme of things, it's really not that many subscribers. Like it's not like generating a ton of revenue. And so for me, I'm always thinking about like, how can I do better? How can I grow my channel? I looked up my best performing videos since starting YouTube, which was pretty much exactly a year ago, almost exactly. And I pulled some stats for you guys. So just reading off my notes here, my best video, my top performing video in terms of views was my Chanel Tweed eyeshadow review. That has, I think, almost 27,000 views. Now, the revenue that I made off of that video, and this is just from the Google AdSense, it's a little bit hard to tell how many people are like shopping through your specific links, if it's from YouTube or if it's from Instagram, but just from YouTube alone, I made $110 off of that video, and that has over 26,000 views. One of those Chanel palettes, I think they went for $80 or $85, and I bought all 4 of them. So I spent over $300 on eyeshadow palettes and I made $110. Kind of do the math. Like if you only have 10,000 subscribers, it's not a super good return on investment. I also looked up what was my highest grossing video in terms of revenue, and that was actually my second best performing video in terms of views, and that was the Hourglass Holiday Palette Collection video. Once again, I bought all 3 palettes. Each of those retails, I think, for $80 or $85, and I made $150. So I was able to pay for almost 2 of the palettes that were in that video. So I thought that would be fun to share with you guys. I feel like a lot of people, they don't talk about this. When asked this question, like, would you quit your job to become a full-time YouTuber? Yeah, I would, but you don't get like a super huge return on investment right off the bat, and you really do kind of rely on people shopping through your links in order to afford the makeup that you are purchasing. More on that in a second, but I gotta show you guys the next product I'm gonna be using. It's in the bronzer category, and it's the one from Victoria Beckham. This is just like, it's got the full package. It's got the beautiful packaging. It's got 2-in-1. The formula is amazing. I just did a whole review of Victoria Beckham products, which, by the way, they've seen my content, and I think they're going to be sending me some stuff so I can do more reviews and more roundups and stuff for you guys. So thank you guys for watching those videos and showing me all that love. So I'm going to be using this. This is a beautiful matte bronzer, and I'm going to use my Sonia G Buffer Pro. Been loving this brush lately. Okay, so back to my commentary, back to your questions. I'm trying to answer a lot of the questions that I got through all of this commentary, so forgive me, I am kind of combining a lot of questions because some of you guys asked me, like, what's your goal for this year? In addition to, like, how do you afford makeup? How much do you make from YouTube? How much money do you spend on makeup in a year? So I'm gonna kind of go into that a little bit. Like I was just saying, you don't get like the biggest return on investment, especially in the beginning, but I think that's kind of similar to a lot of businesses that people start. I would say like my goal for this upcoming year would probably be to see if I can break even on the makeup that I spend for these videos. And I'm gonna have to be a lot smarter with the videos that I produce. I might have to figure out how I can produce more content, maybe more content that doesn't just include new releases, because this year I was really just trying to figure out what works while also just making the kind of content that I enjoy making. My strategy for this year was very much a growth strategy, and part of that, like the easiest way to grow, is just reviewing new products. But if you want to review new products, you gotta buy those products, and I have a luxury channel, so a lot of times your expenses, I'm not buying drugstore products, you know, I'm not spending like $10 or $15 or $20. I'm spending like $60, $80, you know. One Dior collection review could be $300 video. So for those of you guys who are asking me like how much money do I spend on makeup in a year, it's quite a bit. It's a lot more than I would recommend for anybody to spend on makeup, but for me, it is a business expense, and I'm able to categorize that as a business expense. I feel like YouTubers, they don't talk about this kind of stuff. The first person that I heard talk about this was very recently in one of Morgan Turner's similar videos, like a Q&A video. We can categorize this as a business expense, so we can kind of leverage these expenses a little bit more towards our benefit because we're using them to generate revenue, hopefully eventually a profit, and run a business. So yeah, that's just like a little bit about like my goals. This year, I really just wanted to grow as much as possible. I wanted to hit 10K. I wanted the ability to monetize my channel by the end of Q1. I've been able to hit all of my goals early, which was really cool. I just don't really know like this is the first time I'm doing this, guys. I'm just sharing my experience, by the way. I'm sure other YouTubers, maybe they would disagree with me or whatever. I'm literally just telling you what I've done. I've been a little bit spray and pray this year, whereas I think for 2023, I want to see if I can get a little bit smarter about the videos that I'm doing, the money I'm spending, and like all that kind of stuff. But just to kind of wrap up ooh, that was a lot of brown, so let me blend that in. I'm going in with the darker color, I just wanted a little bit more. But just kind of wrapping up the discussion about like revenue and spending and all that kind of stuff. To answer the question of like, how do I afford luxury makeup? I'm not going to sugarcoat this here because there's no secret here. It's just like, how do you afford anything else? You make it a priority, you budget, and you either sometimes can afford certain things and you can't. I afford luxury makeup because number one, I'm generating some money to offset the cost through this channel. Number two, I have a full-time job, and that full-time job, it is enough to be able to allow me to afford some luxury items to an extent. And then the third thing is I don't have any debt. I don't have any like student loans. I don't have any credit card debt or anything like that. If I did, I would be paying that off first. So that is a huge privilege that I have in my life as well, that like I have not generated or accrued any of that. I pay off my bills in full every single month. So don't go into debt over makeup. You know, you got to focus on certain things first, but that's just my like no sugar coated response to how do you afford luxury makeup. My bronzer is on. I think I'm looking good. I don't look as pasty as I did before. I have a little bit of life. And the next Holy Grail product that I'm going to be using is a blush, and it can only be one. Desert Orchid by Pat McGrath. This is my most used blush, and it's hilarious because it looks like I haven't even used it. I use this all the time. I don't know why it looks like that, but I swear this is like my favorite blush ever. The other like YouTuber questions that I got were sort of about, I guess, time management. So some of you asked, how do you divide your week in filming and editing, social life and work life? Do you ever get tired? Also, you grew pretty fast. Does it ever give you anxiety or scared? Any advice to keep a cool head? And then some of you guys also asked once again about time management. Do I get tired? Yes, I'm tired all the time. I'm always tired. I'm always thinking about the next video that I need to get up because I film in daylight, and especially during this time of year, it's not light outside for that long. Like it's gonna start getting dark at 3 o'clock or 3:30. I need to get up and film the video. Like you never really get to sleep in. Sometimes I would just love to sleep in, but usually I'm getting up, I'm filming a video in the morning, I'm working during the day. If I have a break during the day, maybe I can film my video then, or maybe I can film a reel or something like that. Maybe I can get some editing done, but it really just kind of depends on the work day. But then in the evening, I have to edit the videos. So that's kind of how I break that up. On the weekends, I'll usually pick one day, either Saturday or Sunday, and I'll film one video, because if I don't film on the weekend, today's Sunday, so I'm filming on the weekend. If I don't film on the weekend, I'm probably not going to be able to get another video up until like Wednesday, right? Because maybe Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, you basically just get a delay from the week. So what I'm saying here is like, you just really don't ever get a break. You need to be consistent. I'm not the best at time management. I'll be honest. I need to get better at that in 2023. I need to figure out some more ways that I can mix in shorter videos into my channel, because editing like an hour's worth of footage takes several hours to do, and it can be very exhausting. And I want my videos to be good quality. I always watch them back. So if it's a 30-minute video, I'm watching that for 30 minutes before I deem it as appropriate to then upload to my channel. And then you got to do the thumbnail, you have to do the description, you have to generate all those links one by one. Every like little thing, every little like side clip, piece of B-roll, every little like photo, if I show a photo, all that stuff is an extra step, and it takes a lot of time. So in terms of time management, I think the thing that has helped me the most is just making sure that I stay focused on the specific thing that I need to do that day, or what are the 3 videos that I'm going to try and get up that week, because I have so many ideas and there's so many products and different things that are launching. I get very overwhelmed very quickly, and I start context switching and thinking like, oh, maybe I should start filming that. It's like, no, film the video that's at the top of your list, and then edit that video, and then post that video before you start focusing on the next thing. Like, handle one thing at a time, or like I'll block out my day and say, these are the hours that I'm going to do this, these are the hours that I'm going to do this, and then these are the times that I'm not going to be doing anything, right? I use a tool called Trello. If any of you guys are in like product management or project management or anything like that, you may be familiar with it. And basically it's just a way to organize priorities and lists. So I'll have like, this week, these are the videos that I'm going to do. And then in each of those little, like, think of it as like a post-it note almost, you can click into that and I will write the whole outline of everything that I'm gonna say, all of my different thoughts, how I'm gonna organize it. One of you guys told me in one of the comments that watching my videos felt like you were reading like a well-written essay, and you said it in a very nice way, I think. I just thought that was so funny, because that's kind of how I treat my videos. Not this kind. I have all of your questions written out, so I'm reading it in that way. But for my review videos, I try to stay focused and be prepared and use that time to its fullest by being prepared to film the video. And for me, it's creating an outline, being organized about my thoughts, being very intentional about what I want to say, making sure I have a checklist of all the different shots that I need to film. And I usually do that in the evenings when I don't have natural light. And so that's the other thing, like, preparing for the videos, at least for my videos, takes a lot of time. And I think that's why you see people who maybe don't have as much time, maybe they work part-time or whatever, they film a lot of get ready with me's, or they film videos that are maybe a little bit more chatty, or they film will I buy it videos, because a lot of times those videos, they're easier to edit. There's not as much B-roll and that kind of stuff, and you can sit down and just film them in an hour and a half, and you don't have to prepare as much for those videos. So yeah, I think the best thing for me has just been focusing on the main things that I need to do. There's really no getting around it. Like, you just have to prioritize it. And sometimes you have to think to yourself, like, what's more important? Is this task more important, or is that task more important? Shout out to all the people out there that have children, or are, you know, working full time doing this and have children, because I feel like that's way harder. Like, having to manage your family, different schedules, like paying for all those things. Like, shout out to all the moms out there. The next Holy Grail product that I'm going to be using is for highlighter, and this is from Dior. These are the Dior Forever Couture Luminizers. I actually have a full video of all the shades. I swatch, demo all the shades if you guys are interested in, you know, comparing these or picking one of these up. But these are so beautiful, so airbrush. It's just like the perfect classic luxury highlighter. So good. And I have the shade 04 Golden Glow, which I think is probably the most classic, universal, maybe boring color in the collection. But this is kind of my go-to classic highlight if I'm not really sure what to put on my face. So continuing with the questions, one of the ones that I didn't answer is like, your channel grew pretty fast. Does it give you anxiety, make you scared? Any advice to keep a cool head? I don't really feel like my channel grew that fast. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Some of you are very sweet and you're like, your channel grew so fast. I'm like, it didn't feel fast for me. It felt like a whole year of lots and lots of work just to get to 10,000, which, as I told you guys, is like not really that many subscribers in the grand scheme of things. I'm super stoked about it. Don't get me wrong. Extremely like humble and grateful that anybody even wants to watch my channel. I don't really think that it blew up fast. You can't really go viral on YouTube anymore. At least that's what people are telling me. Apparently people used to go viral all the time back in the day, but it's not like anything is going viral for me. Even my most popular videos are about like 25,000 views. It's not like I got thousands and thousands of subscribers from those 25,000 views. You still get people that just kind of show up, watch your video, they forward to the part where you have the swatches, and then they just leave the video. So you have to understand that like some people are coming and they're just coming for what they want and then they leave. As a YouTuber, I have to figure out like what's a really good retention strategy. How do I draw people in? I don't know. I don't have any tips for how to keep a cool head, because it's not like I feel like I'm blowing up. Do I get anxious about it? I don't really get anxious about growth. I more just get anxious about keeping up with the content and making sure that the content is good. And I get anxious about new releases, because you have new releases coming out, or maybe you have somebody that's creating content for this sale or something like that. And as a YouTuber, I see all of the other people that I follow doing similar videos, and sometimes they get theirs up before you. And that's just the name of the game, but it does cause me anxiety flipping through my own YouTube and seeing like, oh shoot, like everybody posted a video about this and I didn't. And that's when I have to, like, again, back to the time management piece, I have to step back and be like, yo, you don't need to do that just because they did it. Like, stick to the plan that you had this week. But that's mostly what I get anxiety about. It's just the FOMO. It's like, oh no, that could have been an opportunity. I have to just be honest with myself that I don't have the bandwidth to do more than like 3 or 4 videos in a typical week. The only other thing that makes me nervous is just mean comments, people being not very nice. And I would say like 99% of my comments are absolutely like so nice. You guys are so sweet. You're so supportive. Absolutely grateful for that. In fact, my mom was reading out loud your comments on the video that I did with her to my dad, and then I was on the phone, like we were all reading them together as a family, and she was like, oh my gosh, are these the comments that you get on your videos all the time? Like, these people, like I felt so ugly when I watched that video back, and everyone's being so sweet and so nice and so supportive, and I'm like, yes, mom, like this is a really nice community. People are really nice, and I try not to let the mean comments get me down, because you know what, sometimes people don't even know. I'm giving people kind of like the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes people don't know that they're being rude or that they're not being super nice, and like the fact that there's so many good comments, it does kind of counterbalance the mean ones. My first reaction is always to defend myself and be like, well, forget you, like what do you know, blah blah blah. So I really try to not be too aggressive in my comments. I kind of have like a very defensive nature about me, because I don't want anybody bullying me or taking advantage of me, but I really try to keep my channel a positive place, and I want it to feel like a luxury experience for the people that are watching it. So that's the other thing that gives me anxiety, is that as I get more viewers and more subscribers, I do have more people leaving not super nice comments. Minnie has finally sat down to take her little nap right there, and we're getting into the eyeshadow. This was the hardest one to choose because I have so many eyeshadow palettes. I did think about using one of my Viseart palettes, but I've done so much Viseart content lately, I kind of wanted to mix it up. And then I thought to myself, I need to do a Pat McGrath Mothership. And I don't know if I've ever mentioned this to you guys, but my favorite Pat McGrath Mothership is Midnight Sun. So we're gonna be using Midnight Sun. I haven't used this one in a hot minute. I like this one because I like the fact that you have all the neutrals you would ever need to get the perfect neutral look, and it's like that fantastic Pat McGrath formula. Also, it leans a little bit warm, but then you also have a couple of fun colors to play with here. So you can use the beautiful orangey red, there's that purple, there's this nice like dirty green, I love that color, and then you've got the golds here. So you kind of get a little bit of everything. It's very autumnal and it's slightly warm leaning depending on the colors that you use. So I have no idea what kind of look I'm gonna do today, but this is gonna be the palette that I am playing with. And the next couple of questions are gonna be more on like the makeup side, like makeup favorites, that kind of stuff. And the first question is, how do you rotate all of the use of your makeup? Is it by mood, occasion, or do you plan ahead? I definitely get overwhelmed with how much makeup I have. I love makeup and I really do love reviewing it, but I do get overwhelmed. So what I will do is, you know, every once in a while, just kind of as the seasons change or as new releases come in, maybe like once a month or something, I will kind of go through my collection, pick out things that like, you know what? I'd like to use that palette. I want to use that palette sometime. I will put it in this little box that I have on my vanity. And that's kind of where like I'll just keep the things that I've been wanting to use. And it could be, you know, this is a great seasonal color. It might be some of the new releases. You know what? You know, I want to use this new thing that I bought a little bit more, because if it's out of sight, sometimes it is out of mind. And I know, like, no one needs as much makeup as I have, but I have a lot of makeup. This is what I do. This is what I love. This is what I'm passionate about. And so that's kind of how I will cycle things through. That's just what I do. I just kind of keep that little box on my vanity, and I'll just kind of grab things from it. By the way, one of you guys asked me what would be in your capsule makeup collection. I think I'm going to do a video on that because I think that's a fantastic video idea. Some of you guys also asked me, can we see your beauty room? I don't have a beauty room. I just have a bedroom. Like, I have a drawer and I have like a makeup armoire where I store a lot of makeup. So I'll try and do a video about that as well. The thing is, my boyfriend like works in that room. We work from home and I work out here in the living room and he works in the bedroom. So that's his office. So I don't really have a lot of opportunities to like be in there during the day. I'll definitely do a beauty room thing. I just got to find the right day when I can make sure everything is as it's intended to look and he's not working in there. I think I'm gonna play with the redder shades. So going in with the bronze and maybe this, and then using these two. I don't know, we'll see. I'm going to like a little charity event after this, so I don't want to go too crazy because it's like during the day and whatnot, but whatever, we'll just have some fun with it. The next question said, Project Pan, yes or no? And that's a definite no. It's a definite no. I don't want to do Project Pan. I don't want to feel obligated to use anything. I want to use whatever. I'm going in with the bronze. I want to use whatever makeup sparks my interest. I don't want the anxiety of having to use things up. Also, I've heard a lot of YouTubers say that those videos don't get a lot of views. So for somebody that is only doing 3 videos a week, I don't think that doing a Project Pan is a good return on investment. And I bet a lot of you would agree that that's probably not like what you would ask for me to do if I'm only making 3 videos a week. And some of you might say, no, we do want to watch it, but then at the end of the day, you have to think about it, friends. All of the videos that pop up in your feed, I'm competing against the other videos that are produced by other YouTubers, whether we like it or not. This is true. This is a fact. I still firmly believe in supporting other people, because I think that rising tide lifts all boats. If you support other people, karma's gonna come back to you and that's gonna benefit you. But I have to just, you know, keep in mind, if other people are producing this content, I have to be mindful that other people may not want to watch my videos. And sometimes I review things that I know won't get that many views, or I do videos that won't get that many views, but it's like, I know a lot of you guys want to watch them, but Project Pan is not one of those things. Because I just don't want to do it. I don't want to feel obligated. I would be happy to get ready with me's with things like this, like things that are not new releases. I'd rather do that than be like, here's my Project Pan. I don't like to watch those kinds of videos, so it doesn't really make sense for me to make those kinds of videos. One of you asked, what are your thoughts on buying backups? And I've mentioned this before on my channel, but I have a rule for myself that I do not buy backups. If I haven't fully used up the product, I don't buy backups, because I just found myself not using the backups. Like, I have so much stuff. If I have 15 foundations, why am I buying a backup of something? Don't get me wrong, I feel tempted to do it. Like, when the Dior Air Flash was discontinued, when they said it was gonna be discontinued, I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I need to buy a backup of that. And then I was like, no, why? No, Sophia, it's discontinued. You do not need to do that. You have not even finished the Dior Air Flash that you have in your collection. Finish that up, and then you have all these other foundations that you can use. So for me, I don't do it because I'd rather use that money to spend on like a new release that I can review for you all. I don't need to be buying backups for myself, but I totally get it if you're somebody that you don't have as much makeup as me, and there happens to be a good opportunity where you can get a really good deal on something that never goes on sale, and you know that you're gonna use it up before you expire. But I'm just saying, like, that's my policy for myself. I just make these rules for myself so that I can focus on the things that I actually want to get. So the next person said, when did you first become interested in makeup and why? Who is your favorite makeup artist if you have one? What is your favorite luxury brand / item and why? Spill the tea, Sophia. I will spill that tea. I'm gonna try and answer all of these questions. So when did I first become interested in makeup? I talked about this in some of my past Q&As. I think the answer to that is, like, I was literally interested in makeup from the very beginning, since I was a very young child. And if you guys watched the video I did with my mom, you will know she's not like a makeup fanatic. It was not my mom. It definitely was not. I think it was more so my extended family, because I have a lot of women in my family. And I think that I was just kind of introduced to beauty and makeup through them. I used to love watching them get ready. I used to love playing with the products. I was never discouraged from playing with makeup. And my grandfather used to take me to CVS, and at least back then they had like children's makeup that you could buy in the toy section. And I would always ask if I could pick that. Like, if he's like, okay, you can get a little toy from CVS, you know, for $6 or something like that. You know, he would buy us a little toy and like a pack of bubble gum or something like that. And I would always want the makeup. So my affinity towards makeup has been around ever since I was little. I remember my older cousin, she's 3 years older than me, having like the MAC makeup. Even when we were younger, like makeup from Limited 2, and I just wanted everything that she had. And I would watch her put on the lip gloss, the MAC lip gloss. Love the smell of that vanilla cake smell. I don't know, I was just so into it. And also, I felt like as I got older, my skin wasn't all that great. And so I became very into perfecting my skin. Like, I really got into skincare, how to apply foundation, how to apply concealer. I wanted to have that like perfect porcelain skin kind of look, because I had keratosis pilaris all over my cheeks. I had quite a bit of redness. And then as I got older, I had acne. I've been through Accutane 2 times. So I think that also contributed to it as well. If you look at myself, you know, photos when I was in high school or middle school, it doesn't look like I'm wearing a lot of makeup, because that's how it was if you were 13, 15 years old back then. We didn't have Instagram. We weren't like contouring. Nobody filled in their eyebrows or anything like that. It was not like that at all. And so I was very much into just looking very naturally perfected. And I don't know, I was always obsessed with that. I would read Allure magazine cover to cover. I had little like how to do your makeup books. I would learn how to do makeup from that, trial and error. I really didn't have anybody showing me how to do it. I learned it all myself just from reading magazines and books and that kind of stuff. I think I'm gonna go in with the deeper color here. I've just been using this red in like the outer crease. So see if we can kind of like deepen this up a little bit. Who is my favorite makeup artist? That's a tough one. Wow, what a tough one. You know, I love Pat McGrath. I love Danessa Myricks. I love Lisa Eldridge, Wayne Goss, like all the same people that you guys like. Mario, Patrick Ta. If I could choose for any of these people to do my makeup, maybe Pat McGrath, because she's just such a legend. But I would love to see Danessa Myricks do something really cool and editorial on my face. I feel like that would be really fun to just be the model in that case. If it was just, you know, pretty girl makeup, you know, probably Mario, right? Because he's gonna make you look hot, right? I like Mario. I know I didn't really like his last palette, but I like Mario and I like what he's kind of doing with his brand and whatnot. I think it's very, very interesting to see these makeup artists build their brand, especially in, you know, today's economy. They are very creative people, but I think most of their consumers are not very creative, right? They're like my mom, like she goes into the Sephora and she's like, oh, what's a nice like neutral palette that I can buy? And so I think it's really interesting to see how they maintain their creativity and have that be represented in their products, but also generate sales. I think Danessa Myricks is probably doing the best job putting out really unique products that are super duper creative and actually represent her still to this day. Curious to see, you know, how she continues to maintain that, but just kind of like my 2 cents there. I'm just going in with a little bit of my Charlotte Tilbury powder, which unfortunately shattered, but I'm still using it because I can't, I don't like wasting things. What's my favorite luxury brand or product? I don't know if they're talking about makeup or just in general. I think for makeup, probably, oh gosh, if we're talking about high-end luxury, I would say probably Dior. I've liked pretty much everything that they have released this year, and I've really gotten into Dior on this channel. I've kind of made it a bit of a specialty of mine. I really just like everything that they release. In terms of fashion, that's such a tough one. I think for bags, probably Louis Vuitton, because even though I lust over other brands, out of my whole bag collection, it's mostly Louis Vuitton. By the way, do you guys want a bag collection video? I know I keep saying I'm gonna do it. I think maybe I will do it sometime this month, like maybe after the holiday, like after Christmas is over and I have a little bit of room to breathe. But you gotta let me know, do you want an hour-long handbag video? Because that's probably how long it would be. Like at least 45 minutes would probably be that. Or do you want it broken up into different brands? I don't know, let me know, because I do want to do something like that. But yeah, I would probably say Louis Vuitton or probably Fendi, because I feel like they are feminine and they have a classic element to them, but they're also very like edgy and like sexy Italian. So probably Fendi. Speaking of Dior, somebody asked me, what's your all-time favorite Dior quint? That's a hard one, but I think it's gotta be that Riviera one, the one that's called Riviera that came out this year, which might still be available. I'm just going in with the little like Skin Show glow shade or whatever it always is called. Going in with that on the inner corner. I'm waiting to the last second before I go in with the Blitz Astral shades, because I like to do it all and then just go in with that on top, because I don't want to blend it out too much because I don't want tons of fallout. Okay, so I'm gonna start going in with the red shade right here, and we're gonna see. I haven't worked with this palette in a little bit, so we'll see how it goes. The next 2 questions I love because they're about sort of beauty standards, beauty treatments, that kind of stuff. So the next question is, how do you feel about Botox, fillers, eyelash extensions, microblading, etc.? And my answer to that is, I think they're great. I have no problem with them at all. I think just like with so many other things, you know, all things are good in moderation. I think that a lot of those things are very expensive though. So you have to ask yourself if it's within your budget, if it's worth it to you. Personally, you know, I have my eyebrows microbladed, and I thought it was very much worth the money because it lasts a very, very long time and it saves me a lot of time in my routine from having to fill in my brows perfectly. I still fill in my brows, but I feel like especially when I'm not wearing makeup, I feel a lot more confident. Botox and fillers, it's tough because it depends on, you know, is it worth it to you? I just started getting Botox about like a year ago. I started it in my forehead and right here. And so I feel like it's made a drastic difference. I've gotten under eye filler before, which I thought was really nice, but I don't know. I think it depends on how drastic your under eye darkness is. I liked it, but now that it's been over a year since I've gotten it, and I'm just kind of like, I don't really feel like I need it right now. I feel pretty good with the way that I look. What else have I gotten? I've also gotten Botox in my jaw because I clench my jaw all night. I grind my teeth a lot. It's a big problem, and it definitely helped, but it wore off really quickly. So I stopped. I only got that once because I just felt like for the price, it wasn't really worth it. Also for the eyelash extensions, you got to get those done like every month, and I just don't have the time, money, or patience for that. Also, if you have eyelash extensions, you can't really do this. You can't wear a lot of fancy eyeshadows and stuff because you don't want it to disturb the eyelashes. So I think that all that stuff is great as long as it's within your budget, as long as it's like within moderation. I don't have any lip filler. I don't have any like anything crazy to my face. I'm just doing like preventative Botox, you know, around my forehead, and I got a little bit around my eyes this last time, just kind of trying different things. For me, it makes a big difference. People ask me like, what are your skincare secrets or whatever? And for me, like the holy trifecta is tretinoin, so like using your retinols, lots and lots of sunscreen, and just a little bit of Botox when you come of age, if you feel like you need it and you feel like you can afford it. Those are my secrets. That is what works for me. I like this color, but I feel like it's not enough, so I am going to be going into the white shade right here. The next question is, how do you feel about aging? Is it something you try to work against, or is it something you work into? I thought this was a really good question. I feel like especially now when I look at myself all the time, whether it's on Zoom or it's editing my videos, I definitely start to see the aging happen. And I'm 31. I know I don't have like mature skin or anything like that, so I'm just speaking from the experience that I have so far. I definitely start to see it happening. I start to see the wrinkles coming in. I start to see my eyes getting a little bit more hooded. It scares me a little bit. It does. I'm not going to lie. But at the same time, I just try to embrace it. Just try and go with the flow. It's just a part of life. I think that, you know, you're aging, but you're also gaining a lot in other aspects of your life, and you can still look and feel beautiful even if you are in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s plus whatever. I don't think that beauty is all about just the way that your skin is. I feel like there's something special about aging, and so for me, I do, like I just said, I do preventative things. I wear a lot of sunscreen. I really try and keep out of the sun. I try, you know, I don't smoke or anything like that. I try to do things that are going to be good for my skin, good for my body. Try to work out every day or every other day, eat healthy. So for me, like, I'm technically working against it. I'm trying to prevent it as much as I can, but understanding that it's a part of life. It's a part of life. So I don't know. That's why I wanted to like make this channel, right? To just celebrate beauty for all people of all ages. That's why I didn't call this channel Sophia is Beauty or Sophia's Beauty, because I didn't really want this channel to be about me and my beauty and like me looking cute. I wanted this channel to be very customer focused, because I think the best companies in the world are those that are customer and consumer focused. So I'm very obsessed about what you guys want, keeping you all in mind, trying to give you guys the best representation of products when I do my reviews. Not just, oh, I like this. Oh, this is good for me. Oh, this is great. You know, like obviously I have favorites videos and you guys enjoy those. But if I'm doing a review, it's not just about what I like. It's about, what is this product? Where does it fit? Who is it for? Who might like this? Who might not like this? What else is this like? You know, I'm trying to think about you guys, and because I want to celebrate beauty for all different types of people, all ages, with all different types of preferences. And that's, I don't know, that's way more fun than just celebrating myself and my beauty. Okay, so I feel like we're in a good spot here where like this isn't too much. It's a nice neutral look. I thought it was gonna come out more red, but I think this is good for the activity that I have. The next Holy Grail product that I'm gonna be using are these eyeliners from Chanel. These are the Chanel Yo Waterproof Long Tenue, long lasting eyeliners. And the two colors that I have here that I probably use the most are the shades Cassis and also Prune Intense. These are two purpley colors, and whenever I do slightly purple leaning looks or kind of smoky looks like that, I always use these two. So they have so many colors. I don't have any browns or blacks because I already have a lot of those in my collection. So I didn't buy any super neutral shades in this Chanel line. So I think I'm just gonna try the purple since this actually is coming out pretty neutral. So the next question is, what is your favorite holiday tradition? What is your favorite holiday treat? So my favorite holiday tradition is that every single year on Christmas Eve, myself and my parents and whomever is home for Christmas, so if my sister and her husband are home, like they will participate in this as well. Every Christmas Eve, me and my parents, we make handmade pierogies. I don't know if you guys have ever had pierogies before. It's kind of like ravioli if you ever had that, but it's the Polish version of that. They are delicious. You can have them with like potato and cheese. You can have them with a meat filling, which is what we do. So I will make the pasta dough, and then we do kind of like an assembly line. Like my dad will roll it out, or I'll roll it out. Somebody will sort of slice the little squares. My mom always makes the filling. Someone will be like filling in each of the little, the little pierogi. Someone will fill it in each of the little pierogi, and then someone will seal them, and then someone will be in charge of boiling them, and then we pan fry them in butter, and we serve them with sour cream, and it is the most delicious little holiday treat. We only really do it once a year, and it's just like a fun activity. It's like making cookies, right? It's like baking cookies with your kids or something like that. My mom started this tradition. My grandfather is of Polish descent, and so growing up, I guess they used to do that in her house to some extent, and so I just love doing it. And I'm a very good baker. So anytime there's like a pie crust or like a dough related thing, I'm usually the one making it. So I always make the pierogi dough. In terms of what is my favorite holiday treat, when you say treat, I think of dessert. Okay, I think of dessert. And so I think of Greek pastries, and my grandmother makes the best kurabiedis. I'll put a photo up here so you guys can see what these look like. They're similar to like Italian wedding cookies, if you're familiar with what those are. It is like a toasted almond butter cookie with, a couple of secret ingredients, and then it's just doused in powdered sugar. So delicious. There's also melomakarona, which is kind of like a honey nut cookie. Those are the two Greek Christmas cookies that everybody in Greece, enjoys and eats and celebrates during the holiday season. Maybe there's more. There's probably more in other regions of Greece that I'm sure I'm not familiar with. But those are the big two. I make both of them. Over the years, I've learned how to make them just like my grandma. I'm pretty good at it, and they're pretty bomb. So those are my favorite holiday treats. Like there's really nothing like kurabiedis and melomakarona on Christmas and during the Christmas season. Somebody also asked me, I'm just going in with the prune intense one. Someone asked me like, what were my teenage hobbies? I thought that was such a funny question. I was a complete nerd. I will find some images or an image of me, and I'll put it up here so you guys can see how much of a dork I was when I was a teenager. I'm wearing makeup in this photo, I promise you, but it doesn't look like I am. We did not fill in our eyebrows, I didn't even have bronzer, okay? That's probably why I look so pale in all my photos. But I was a complete nerd. I was very, scholastically inclined. I studied a lot. I worked really hard in school. I did a lot of like service, like community service oriented things. I did a lot of musical theater and drama. I love to sing. You guys kind of can tell, like I like to sing. I love the theater. I played piano. I played guitar for 2 years. I was not very good at piano. I will let you know. I played for like 8 years. I just didn't have the patience for it. I don't think I had like the natural talent for it. I like to do things. I don't like to have to sit there and learn for hours. But then I kind of switched to singing lessons as I got older, and I enjoyed that a lot more, and I worked really hard on my singing and my musical theater and choir and all that kind of stuff. And even going into college, I sang in a choir and we would go on tour together. I've always been very like artistically inclined. That's kind of why I have a YouTube channel as well. Like I like putting together these types of things, and I also have a very like organized analytical mind. I enjoy like organizing a review, for example. My next Holy Grail product is going to be mascara. I'm actually gonna go do it off camera because it's just too hard to talk and do it on camera, and it is the Hourglass Unlocked Instant Extensions Mascara. I've talked about this so many times on my channel. It is a tubing mascara, and I would say, even though I do love the Tower 28, even though I do love the Cali Ray, even though I love the Victoria Beckham and the Shanta Kai, there is something about this mascara that is the most long wearing and the most volumizing. So I'm gonna go put this on and I'll be right back. All right, friends, so we're almost done. I just put on that mascara. I also just did my brows real quick off camera so we can speed things up because I know it's gonna be a very long video. My last two Holy Grails that I'm gonna share with you guys are my favorite lip products, the ones that if I'm just, go-tos, one of the ones that I use the most. It's gotta be Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude, or Pillow Talk, but we're doing Iconic Nude today. I wanted to be a little bit less predictable here. And then Charlotte Tilbury Matte Revolution in the shade Catwalking. You're gonna see this is the perfect nude. This is my go-to nude lipstick. It's so good. All right, so let's go in with Iconic Nude. One of you guys asked me, what is your favorite like luxury beauty packaging of all time? And I think I gotta give it to, I think the top 3 are Byredo, Westman Atelier, and Victoria Beckham. Like, I think that the Victoria Beckham bronzer that I showed you earlier, that's definitely one of the top. But I also think probably my favorite, I brought one out for you here, this is the lipstick from Byredo. I think that this is probably my favorite makeup component of all time. It's just like, it's weighty, it feels so luxurious, and I think the lipsticks from Byredo, they feel more luxurious than the eyeshadows. The eyeshadow packaging is really nice, but the lipsticks are really where it's at. Like, this is just, it's inspired by bamboo, I think. It's absolutely gorgeous. That is my favorite luxury packaging. And now I'm gonna go in with Catwalking. These are like a match made in heaven. I had just lip balm when I started this video. I feel like it kind of sank in a bit. Time to do the honors of taking out the hair, fluff it up a bit. All right, friends. I think I answered most of your questions, and this is the final look using all of my Holy Grail products. I hope you guys like this Get Ready with me. If you guys liked it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Also, sound off in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of my answers. If you guys have any other questions for me, feel free to leave them down below. Let me know, what are some of your favorite Holy Grail products? Do we have any of them in common? And most importantly, what other videos do you want to see? If you see anybody that has a good idea as well, don't forget to give them a thumbs up on their comment, just so I can kind of see what you guys want me to be filming over the next couple of weeks. I had a lot of fun filming this video, and I kind of just wanted to close this video with a huge thank you to you all. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. I genuinely am so humbled and excited to have reached 10,000 subscribers. I know that 10K subscribers isn't a crazy amount, but it truly means a lot to me, and I'm here to celebrate this milestone with you all, my subscribers. So thank you so much. I couldn't have done this without you. I really appreciate all of your support, and most importantly, your kindness and your positivity. I look forward to celebrating another year, hopefully another milestone coming up very soon. And with that, friends, I hope that you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.